Everyone, happy Wednesday. Hope everyone is good. It is Wednesday, and we are now one step closer to the big day on Friday, that NFP. Today was a bit of a mixed bag here day. So we did have US ADP and JOLTS. They both missed expectations, which was interesting. But then following the release, we did have ISM Services PMI. They did beat expectations, and the dollar really followed through with that right there. So services is the biggest sector when it comes to measuring growth in the US. Overwhelmingly so. If you look at the actual ISM report here, the employment index within that expanded for the first time in 7 months with a reading of 52%, a 3.1% point improvement from the 48.9 recorded in November. So that's showing that the actual employment is actually turning around for the better too. I'm interested to see if that's going to reflect in the continued jobs report that we're going to see along. So we do have tomorrow jobless claims, which I'll be looking at right there at 7:30 my time, and then on Friday, of course, we have unemployment rate and NFP. Those are going to be the big ones. NFP is expected to come in at 70K versus 64K. So I'm curious to see if we do stay within those expectations, or we get a beat or a miss. I'm very interested. And if we do get a beat, what could happen is, we get more of a DXY rally. So DXY did go ahead and rally off the ISM services beat today. We had a little bit of a fade off early in the week, and now we're back up at that 38.2% retracement level. If we break this, then the next stop is going to be the 50, and if we break that one, that's going to be the 61.8. Putting some moving averages on the chart here, that 50% retracement level is lined up here with the 200-day moving average, which is in yellow, and the 50-day, which is in red. So that'd be interesting to see if we get a pop above that, and if we close above those, then I'm curious to see if we get a further rally in the DXY, maybe up into this resistance level, this 100. That would be one of the line of defenses. I know a lot of people, when it comes to being bearish camp on the dollar, that 100 handle seems to be a very solid level, and I agree with that myself. So I'm going to be watching that, how that develops. Most likely than not, though, like tomorrow, if we do get some bullish price action and we just hug around this 50% retracement along these moving averages, then price will most likely just chop around waiting for that NFP release. Usually the day before or the days before a big release like that, markets are just flat trading and just waiting for the decision. Then they trade after that. So I'm curious to see what goes on there. Just putting some data behind what I think. If we do get a jobs report that is stronger there, that's going to promote the Fed to go ahead and hold rates for longer, to go ahead and address that inflation, because the job market's taking care of itself, and then you'll get a pop in the DXY. If we break above these moving averages, the 200-day and the 50-day, and we close above it, then you can definitely see some continuation on the DXY just from a technical perspective. If you get jobs report coming in weaker than expected, then that propels the Fed to go ahead and cut those interest rates, and then we will see these moving averages hold. This will be the top, and then we would just see a continuation to the downside. Kind of just putting some data behind that thought process there. This is the scenario back test from the Edge Finder category US dollar. If NFP report beats 25% or more above expectations, you do see a follow through following that. So that 1 day average return is 0.2. Then you look at the 1 week, 1 month, then it gets really good here on the 6 month and 12 month average return. This is off of 50 occurrences. And if you kind of select it to the miss side of things, so if it reports 25% below expectations on 50 occurrences, same kind of concept here. You get a lower trading DXY, but then the follow through really starts to show up in that 1 month, 6 month, 12 month average return. So that's what I'll be looking at. Lines up really, really good with what I'm thinking. So, having that data on the back of my mind after that, I know that I'll be trading with some confidence. If NFP beats, I've been saying this for a while, then I go ahead and look to continue staying in my dollar Swiss position long side. And NFP misses and we get that weak dollar, then I'm going to be looking to hop in that Aussie dollar if we get some kind of pullback. If not, then I'm just going to have to stay away. But hopefully we do get that scenario where I can get an opportunity to trade into the Aussie dollar. Equities here, S&P 500 did make new highs here, so which is pretty good. Now, one thing interesting that I see is that the NASDAQ is not doing the same, right? So we have other indexes like the US 30 here making those all-time highs, but NASDAQ's not really doing that. It's telling me that people are pretty skeptical about this AI optimism, something to be mindful of. If we get a surprise rally in the DXY, some extreme strength, then equities will go ahead and fall down with that. NASDAQ might be the leading one if that does happen. One thing I'm seeing here on the yields, Swiss 10-year yields, right? Swiss franc has been historically very, very strong here, and now it seems like we're kind of turning around. The yields were trading at a premium to what rates are at the moment in Switzerland. They did go ahead and hit this 200-day moving averages. They are trading lower. If they continue to trade lower, then I can see a weaker Swiss franc. That'll actually help my dollar Swiss position as well. So maybe we do get a little bit of all stars aligned here for some short-term dollar strength. That'll be the big surprise, because I know a lot of people are positioned the opposite way. There are a lot of people are expecting that dollar bearish continuation to go. But one thing that I've been saying here, I haven't been too vocal about it, but I do think that the dollar bearish trade is an overcrowded one. So when markets are all leaning one direction, all it takes is one snap and you get a very violent reaction. So maybe we get that surprise. Maybe we don't. All right, maybe I'm wrong, but something to always consider. Also, one thing with oil did go ahead and say, or not oil, said Donald Trump did go ahead and say that he's going to be setting the prices for oil. I think we seized a tanker and that we're going to use that. It was like 50 million barrels, something like that. And we are seeing oil trade lower. So that's definitely going to help the inflation story in the short term. That's what he wants ultimately, right? Lower inflation, oil trading lower. That's definitely going to help that story as well. And that's it for market updates today. The big one's going to be Friday. I can't wait to make my video for Friday. Navigate these markets carefully, guys. We do expect some chop leading up into that NFP. So tomorrow, this is the day before. There might be some very thin price action, just chopping around, consolidating here, maybe not doing much. So definitely be careful. Have a blessed rest of your day. And as always, trade safely, guys. Bye-bye.